Being born after 1980 was the biggest financial blunder you would ever make. Because residences are too expensive, you will need a loan to attend college. If you don't have a job, financial collapses are frequent. If you're young, you may be wondering if it's too late for you to ever advance financially. Millennials may be the group with the worst luck in terms of economic growth. According to recent research, everyone, not just millennials, finds it extremely difficult to finance down payments on homes. Gates, Bill Apple Inc. Steve Ballmer, Paul Allen. The fact that both Eric Schmidt and Vinod Khosla are tech billionaires and were born in 1955 unites the three individuals. This is not a coincidence, claims author and journalist Malcolm Gladwell. Gladwell contends that if Bill Gates hadn't been born at the ideal moment, he wouldn't have built Microsoft. If you wanted to become a tech billionaire, 1955 was the year to be born because you would have been able to benefit from the personal computer revolution when it first started. If you were born after 1980, you would have been able to start paying five-figure college tuition, six-figure home prices, and entering the job market after the dot-com bust, the global financial crisis. The pandemic of COVID-19 or crisis. New York corporate lawyers served as Gladwell's initial inspiration for his book Outliers. We take it for granted that there is this man in New York who is proper corporate lawyer. The fact that a startling number of New York City's most influential and successful corporate attorneys have very identical biographies made me wonder why it's always the same guy. Gladwell observed that while many people attribute Bill Gates' success to either being extremely intelligent or extremely ambitious, he knew many individuals who possessed both quality. The issue with online role-playing games is that persistent users who began the game at launch have had time to level up their characters. Characters acquire the best equipment and amass wealth in-game. The game creator wants new players to sign up for the game in order to increase their revenue or, at the very least, replace existing players who get bored and cancel their subscriptions. Nobody wants to spend their free time getting PWNED on an outdated video game, so developers have to choose between two options. The first option puts new players in direct competition with existing players who have more actual experience behind the keyboard and higher-level characters in the game than new players simply can't compete with. i.e., but we're not worth $60 billion. This occurs frequently and seems unavoidable to groups other than tech billionaires. Option 1 would risk alienating its most devoted clients by narrowing the difference between new and old players. Angry or choice 2. In the real world, we face the same difficulties, and there are four main reasons why young people may never succeed financially. The first reason is a lack of job opportunities. Let the level gap widen so that new players can't compete, and let the game slowly die as it loses players. Even those who go on to become successful business owners typically start out in a professional role where they may develop their talents, make connections, and earn money. Working a job is how most people accumulate wealth. The average age of retirement in America has been steadily rising for a while, which affects both people in the middle and the beginning of their careers. If people have to work longer before retiring, there will be fewer openings at the top of the corporate ladder for young people to move into. Despite this, millennials make more money than any other generation did at their age, and they are more likely to be in independent households. These were folks who were able to purchase houses in these places before they became senior professionals, and now they are competing with senior professionals in the last years of their careers but still aren't quite ready to retire. Unaffordable in a chicken and egg situation. When baby boomers were the same age as millennials today, they held 22% of the nation's wealth, compared to millennials' 7% control. It's time to discover how money works to determine if you're a young person and if it's too late for you to have a high salary, since older generations require wealth to retire and younger generations need older generations to retire in order to generate wealth. Is not the sole factor in building wealth, but having more money makes the process much simpler. If you invest well over the long term and get strong returns, you may come out considerably better off than someone who earns more but saves less. Again, newer generations suffer defeat problems with Gladwell's 1955 tech bro idea. There are several billionaires in the computer industry who were born well after the 1960s. For example, Mark Zuckerberg, the $97 billion apparently human overlord of Meta, was born in 1984. There will always be outliers, but Zuck is the exception that exemplifies the rule. Gates and Zuckerberg represent the pinnacle of their generation's wealth. But Gage is still wealthier than Zuck even after giving $80 billion more to charity through his foundation. If Gates had held onto his Microsoft shares the same way that Zuck has held onto his Meta shares, Gates' net worth would have been almost $700 billion, making him the richest person in the world. I'm not asking you to feel bad about Zuck, but each investment made by regular individuals from these two generations also has a different investment possibility. As long as they didn't sell during significant downturns, someone who began their career in the market in 1970 would have seen quick compounding. Over that period, the market generated an average return of 11%, but most analysts concur that the last century was exceptional for the market and that future returns are likely to be lower. Vanguard forecasts 4.1 to 6.1% annual returns for stocks over the following 10 years, with a median volatility of 17%. Vanguard is an investment management having a financial stake in luring investors into the market, therefore its pessimistic outlook. The forecast would not have been made without a thorough investigation of the justification given for the anticipated meager returns. An expense associated with adhering to new data security and environmental requirements. That's right. It's your own. More hurdles to cross-border sales, and younger customers' weaker purchasing power. If the analysts are correct, it will be much harder to save the $500,000 over a 40-year career to fund a comfortable retirement. For example, investing just $60 a month with an 11% return would have made $500,000 over 40 years. However, if you want to achieve the same amount with even the most optimistic outlook on Vanguard's projections of 6.1%, you would need to spend a total of $6 million over that same period. For many of you, it may be simple to find $250 per month in your budget, but if that's the case, you probably wouldn't be satisfied with just $500,000 in retirement. Financial planners advise people to budget 70% of their income to use in retirement. So if you're earning $100,000 per year at the end of your career, budget to spend $70,000 per year in retirement. Lower returns mean you will need more money in retirement. Would require a monthly investment of $570 if you make $100,000 a year, which is a significant portion of your budget. It also assumes you will make six figures for the rest of your career and never run out of money. Would require a monthly investment of just $75 with 6.1% returns. You would need to invest $1 million $125,000 to save that. If you earn $100,000 per year, investing $570 per month, a sizable chunk of your budget, would be necessary. It also presupposes that you will always have money and earn six figures for the remainder of your career. Would only take a $75 investment every month with a return of 6.1%. You would need to invest $1 million $125,000 to save that. The third reason why it might be too late for you to get ahead is that real estate prices are so high that 40% of homes in America are owned free and clear without a mortgage, while more people than ever believe they will never be able to afford a home. You won't be able to accidentally build wealth by cutting out minor luxuries. You'll need a committed and fairly aggressive savings plan, which is why it might be too late for you to get ahead. To pay their rent in the same manner. Renters may also be evicted from their residences, in which case they would be responsible for covering the costs of moving, cleaning, and if you are a renter, this all reduces your ability to save the money you need to buy your own home or do anything else to improve your financial situation. In high cost of living cities, getting a down payment together can now take more than a decade of dedicated saving, and for young people that are able to overcome this hurdle, the problems only just start. People buying housing now will be hit with high prices and high interest rates. Locking in a high interest rate for 30 years is going to hurt people buying their first home because it can be expensive to refinance if it comes back down. The combination of high rates and high real estate prices makes the monthly payment for housing more expensive. Greater property values also draw greater property taxes relative to the average earnings at the period. There are no counties in the nation where an individual earning the minimum wage can rent a two-bedroom flat without running into financial difficulties. Younger generations also have more opportunities to spend during their earliest years, when savings have the most time to compound over a lifetime. Purchasing the average home and making payments will take more than 40% of the average salary, leaving little money left over to save for anything else. Streaming services for online shopping, expensive meal delivery services. The good news is that millennials are saving earlier than their parents and are saving larger percentages of their income, according to a study by Magnify Money. The average millennial had their net worth double during the pandemic, but they were still behind older generations at the same time. Fast fashion and the subscription occasion of everything weren't a drain on the wallets of older Americans when they were starting out. Younger generations struggle to make as much money, and their investments likely won't perform as well over the long term. And that's just for those just starting out. If you want to learn more about the difficulties you'll face as you near retirement, watch my video on why most people alive today will work until they pass away. If you also want to receive these videos